Hi everybody, welcome to Granny J Clay. This is Joni, and I'm just sitting here now on a kind of a late Sunday afternoon, and as you can see, I made another clay planter pocket, and I'm about to add some really dark brown, it's called espresso, to this, but I have to tell you, and then I'm going to rub it off. I don't know if it's going to work. What you see on here is I used this clay. It's called Super Sculpey. And then after I got it finished, I rubbed some espresso from my Perfect Pearls on it. So we'll see how it works. But what I'm most excited about today is I just got a new camera stand. And I am so thankful. Let's see, what's it called? Let me just show it to you. I just put it up. It is called a Professional Multifunctional Cantilever Bracket. And so I'm sitting at a desk, well, at a table, and across the table, that way from me, is where it's hooked to the table, and then has a long arm that stretches over and hangs onto my phone, and I can see too. It's not up too high, so I don't have to stand up to see how much time I'm taking and if I'm in screen and so forth. So I'm just excited. All right, now I'm going to get down to this, and then what I'd like to do, we'll see if this works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But basically I would like to have some darker brown in some of the crevices, so we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's going to take the pearl off or we'll see. Let's see, maybe I'll just take this, and maybe it won't even be dark enough. I don't know. We'll see. This is a big experiment since I've already got it done, but I've done other things where I had to dump it, so we'll see. We shall see what happens here. Oh, it's really, really windy here today, but the sun is shining right now. That's kind of nice, but kind of hate to go out when I need a little bit more. When it's so windy, I come in sneezing like crazy. I suppose the allergens just blow like crazy. So, here we go. Now what I'll do is I'll come in and wipe this off. Just kind of come around the edges too. And we'll see what happens. We shall see what we shall see. And I've got way too much there now, but my husband is off on a fishing trip. He left, what's today, Sunday? He left Friday morning, and they're up in northern Minnesota. My son and our 3 grandsons, and my son's buddy from, well, actually his roomie from college. His dad and my husband, Dan, and our son, Brad, the one that lives here. Our other son, Ryan, lives in Dallas. So he, of course, is not available to go. I'm not sure he'd want to go. He's not really into fishing and so forth. But anyway, let me just wipe this off a little bit, and then I'm going to start wiping this off. And we'll see if it's going to look the same, just darken it a little bit. Might do that. But I want to use a wipe to start it. So anyway, they're up there, and his roommate has 3 younger boys, and Brad has 3 older boys. So I just, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, if I could hang around with the older girls, I thought that was so cool. So I don't know if Scott is his name, our son's roommate from college. I don't know if Scott's boys will think it's cool or not, but they look, I've never met them. My husband heads up that way. They used to always go to Canada to fish. It's working a little bit. Not as dark as I'd like it. I could try black, but I really don't want I don't want the black on here. So we'll just see. I'll just keep working at this a little bit and see what happens. So they're having a good time, although a big storm just moved through up there, and they had to come off the lake for a little while till that went through. But, that's the case anywhere if you're fishing. So, yeah, it didn't make a great big difference, as you probably can tell here. What I think I'm going to try is I'm going to add a little bit of, these are those Hot Fix rhinestones that I put on here too. And so what I think what I'm going to try is just a little bit of alcohol and see how that does. And I don't know if it's going to take the Pearl X off or just the paint off. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Let's see. So I'm going to pour a little bit of alcohol into one of my, let's see if I can show it to you. I can't tip this because it's got alcohol in it, but one of these little Chobani yogurt things. So I'll pour a little in there and then kind of dip from there. I don't know why, I have to be more careful, but I tend to tip these little things when they've got water or alcohol in them. So we'll see. I'm just going to put a little bit on here and we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's going to really make any difference. I want it to stay in the recesses and look a little darker in the recesses, but I don't know. This area might. Isn't that a pretty design? I'll have to show you what I used to make that design. My husband's father passed away several years ago, and he was a smoker, and he had this kind of crystal-looking ashtray that sat on a pedestal wood. And I took that. My husband wanted to keep that. So I took it and I made a print of that, the outside of it, which is this, for each of the kids in the family. So yeah, I know it's an ashtray, probably not that big of a memory to keep, but it was something he did all the time. Not that we would encourage smoking, of course not. We wouldn't. And my husband doesn't smoke, thankfully. Well, I think he does have a cigar when he goes on fishing trips. I got pictures of him doing that. I don't know. Why is that a guy thing, you guys? Why is that a guy thing? Or is it? I don't know. It may be or it may not be. I don't know if that improved it. I don't know. I haven't finished the back. I'm going to put a piece of felt back here. But there you can kind of see the other clay that I showed you, the Super Sculpey. And inside here I used one of my steel soaps that I've used in my other videos. That worked really well. And if you get it out right away after it's done baking, you don't wait until it cools. I just kind of hold on to this and turn it upside down, and the soap falls out of there. So yeah, I don't know that that's making any difference whatsoever, but I thought I'd try it. I thought I would try it. Okay, I'll just leave that for now, but I do want to show you some of the other ones. Let me see if I can set this aside. This is going to be cute once it's filled. I was going to check, make sure that we have it all the way around. Right here, I need to cover that a little bit. I don't know if you can see it or not. But other than that, I think it's looking good. I might want to round these edges just a little bit more. I wanted more of an oval, but that's going to be pretty. So let me just take remove this first, and take my gloves off. Well, first let me wipe this down. I've got this old rag that I just keep to wipe my glass off. Are you as messy as I am? I am really messy. You have to kind of be sometimes, you know what I mean? You just have to kind of be. All right, so I'll move this paint aside. Let's see here. I'm getting... Okay, I had to stop just a minute because my dogs were barking. Sorry about that, but I know you may not even be able to tell that I'm pausing, but I did. So I'm just going to show you some of these. I did put some pictures out, I think on Instagram, But I wanted to show you a few of the ones that I've made since I think I talked to you last. But this is one. This is a little bit different. But I like it. It's got a pocket right in the middle. And then, of course, I put some, I have to wipe these off. Felt kind of catches everything, but if, you know, when I give it away to somebody, it will, I'll just clean it up more then, because it's going to lay down for a little while. So anyway, there's one. Isn't that pretty? I really do like the ones with the twigs. I like both. But I like this. I like the colors together. Okay, so that's one. I made another one like this. I had given my other one away that was quite similar. Or maybe I've shown you this. I don't know for sure. This is polymer clay. The other one was also polymer clay. Now I'm going to show you one. Let me put this over here. That was made out of, this was made out of air dry clay. This is kind of a little bit bigger, as you can see. I turned the upper light off on, maybe I should turn that off. But anyway, I made this. I thought that turned out very nice too. They're all just a little bit different. This has a piece of leather holding it up. This feels heavy to me, but I filled it. I fill all of them very full, but I like that look. There are people that I know on Pinterest that fill them very lightly, and they must like that look too. So, you know, to each his own. So I've got that one, and then of course this is my little bird, and this was made out of. I think this one was made out of air dry clay. Yeah, this was made out of air dry clay as well. I really like how that turned out too. And let's see here. Bring a couple of other things in. I may have shown you this one. That's polymer clay too. I love polymer clay. I love how it works for me. But I'm learning to also like air dry clay. Each has its own kind of purpose, but obviously I know more about polymer clay since I've been using it for 30 years. So I'm more familiar with it, but I thought that turned out so pretty, little heart. Again, dirty on the back. Okay. And this is another one. I'm going to give this to my sister-in-law. I told her she could choose which one she wanted. She chose this little bitty one. Okay, I like that too. I just have one little thing, but you can tell how small it is as I hold it in my hand. And then I just made some extra. I made earrings for it. That's what I call them, earrings. Yeah, so that's that one. And then I just made some extra. I think you saw this, but I didn't have the handle on it before now. So that's this one. And here's one more. This was the heart that I had made. There's wire in here, and there's also wire in here. That's how I attached. I see I have to turn that one down a little bit. That's too sharp. But I put, felt on the back of those as well. And then I will show you these. This is one I just made. It's for Christmas. And I think what I'm going to do is, hold on just a second. Okay, that upper light was bothering me. I think I'll, fill it with Christmassy kinds of things. So, but that'll be a while yet. But I put some green felt on the back of that one. I haven't popped holes through yet for the, whatever I'm going to string it with. And then here's another one. It's not quite as big as this one. Has a smaller little pocket, but that's for Christmas as well. Maybe you can tell that. I'll bring it down a little bit closer. And it's got green on the back too. Once I have these done and they're baked, these are polymer clay. Once I have them finished baking, then I let them cool down, and I put a lot of glue on the back. of both of them, and then I just laid them both on one piece of green felt, and I just let them sit overnight. You know, press it down a little bit so that they would dry really well. And then today I cut around it. Yeah, it cuts really easily. If you have a decent scissors, I had to go dig out my sewing scissors that I had, because all my craft scissors are really gluey and kind of not so good. So I'm going to move that now. I'm showing you all my things I've been making lately. Okay. I also decided I'm going to send one of my, here we go. These aren't quite finished, but you can tell that's Christmas, and it's a car with a tree on top. These aren't quite finished. But I have to tell you what I did. I went outside and I got some branches, and then I made a few of these pieces too that can be necklaces, and I've got some other pieces over here that are smaller that can be, you know, earrings and so forth. But I went outside and I got a branch. In fact, I got it. Let me show you. Here they are. I picked these off one of our tall, it looks like a tree, but it's really more of a bush, a real tall bush. And I like these. They're kind of thin and airy. So what I did was I rolled the clay out, and it's polymer clay. Let me put that up there so you can still see it. And then I on the whole slab of clay, I just began to lay these out, and I'd roll each one separately with a little rolling pin. When I got all done, then I put my Perfect Pearls on them with, this was white Perfect Pearls. Isn't that pretty? But so it's kind of a part of my house to their house, whoever's going to get it. I really like it. And yes, I'm making Christmas things already. Oh, I love Christmas. Anyway, so that's that. Oh, I was going to show you a few more other things. Let me just put these aside quickly. I hadn't planned on doing a project today, but I may tomorrow. Let me show you this too. Isn't that cute? I have a little, just a tiny little 2-inch roller that you can roll on the clay. It's got, you know, it indents into these little areas, the branches, the sprigs, and the pine cones, and it rolls so well. Anyway, I rolled it over some clay, and then I came back over it with Perfect Pearls and did my thing with that. And then I came in and I used a ball tool. Let me see, maybe it was this one. And I used my red ink, and I just put some pretty berries just kind of sitting everywhere. And it's got red on the back. So that's a little Christmas ornament. And let's see, what else did I make with that? I decided since I had a little extra, I would just go ahead and make a little necklace. And then I made a little pair of earrings to go with the little necklace. Obviously, they're not finished, but they'll get there. They will get there. Okay. And then I'm going to bring these in, too. I had placed an order for these. These are pottery stamps. Let me get my other one. I've used this one. I've been playing around with this one. I'll turn it over. And you just press this into the clay. What I usually do is I take, my powder. You've seen this before. And then I just hit it on here, and then I press it into the clay, and it works really well. Otherwise, it has really, you know, quite a bit of suction, because this is rather thick. These aren't the usual really thin cutters. These are a little more thick, but they're so pretty. I love this little tiny bike. I've got to make something with that. I just think that is so cute. These are cherry blossoms. These are obviously two, a sunflower and another flower, and this is a succulent, and this is a sunflower. So those just arrived. Oh, and I have this. I was going to show you this as well. I have another little, isn't that cute? Little 2-inch roller. It's got trees on it. I've got some things drying in the back that have that on it. So cute. So let's see if I had anything else I wanted to show you for now. Oh, I was going to show you what I used. This is, believe me when I tell you, I washed this many times to clean it up. But this is the ashtray that fit onto the wooden stand of my father-in-law's. Isn't that something? Pretty fancy. Anyway, you can still see that I had put this all around it so that the clay wouldn't stick to it. And you can still see it, so I'll have to wash it. But I laid a piece of clay after I got it all conditioned, and I laid it over this. And again, I did it with this clay, Super Sculpey. I have mixed Super Sculpey with other clays to, I guess, make that clay go farther if it's a color or whatever. I love this. I love this stuff. So anyway, and when I got it done, I just laid it down and kind of flattened it out very carefully. And then put that over there. And then, of course, I had to make my other sheet. And once I made that sheet, I'll show you which steel soap I used in there. I have 3 that are this shape, and I only have 1 that's the oval. I used this one. So what I did, when I had this piece, this back piece rolled out, I just put this where I wanted it. And then I had already cut this out in a circle. I used one of my circle cutters. So then what I did was I just put this up from the bottom a ways, as you can see. And then I just came over it very lightly, and I began to tap the sides down. Sometimes one side would pop back up, so I'd have to hold that down and then tap over here and so forth. But it worked really well. It worked really well. When it came out of the oven, I just took it with my glove mitts, you know, the oven mitts, and I just held it like this, and it fell right out. So I have tried some other things that haven't worked so far as putting things in here. You can use foam, you know, like cosmetic foam, those little foam pads. I've used some of those. That works. But boy, the best thing I have come to use is these. You can get them on the internet. They're called steel soaps. And I think I've told you that before, but supposedly you're supposed to wash with them and it'll take the smell of garlic and onion off your hands. I've never used them for that, so I can't attest to that. Okay, everybody, I just wanted to stop by and say hi. My puppies and I are probably going to go out here in a little bit for a little bit of a walk. I don't think we're supposed to get any rain, but I think it was blowing up to 40 miles per hour earlier today, so pretty windy. I hope you're having a really great Sunday, and I'm giving some time and thought to what I want to do for my Granny J Say, which is probably going to come up this week sometime, this coming week. I have something in mind, and we'll just see how that goes. I haven't done one for a while, so I need to be doing that. Anyway, have a great evening, or I'm not sure. Some of you I know are quite a bit ahead of us. Maybe you're sleeping already. I don't know. But God bless you wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.